hello. Welcome to East and Rails Adventure. We at the National World War II Museum. We on Camp Street. Yeah. And Andrew Higgins Street. And they have a lot of museums. The Civil War Museum, Contemporary Art Center. You gotta hurry up. They're gonna run us over. And a lot of stuff is walking distance, but we just gotta get to that one side, you know. Cause now we like in the art district / warehouse district. So, let's see. I don't know where you go get, we gotta get the tickets to go inside. They say a lot of people don't come here, but I wanted to see it. My grandfather was in World War II. Great grandfather. This is nice. And I think they do tours every half an hour. They do tours. Because some part I think it's a sound stage too. They say, lest we forget the mission. Atlantic wall fragment. As soon as you walk in the door, y'all, look at this. Wow. Union Station. I want to go to Kansas. Wow. Departing the train. I know my grandfather was in the war. We gotta go get on the train, y'all. They said start at the train. So step 1, take a dog tag. They say take a dog tag. Then you're gonna register your dog tag and follow your World War III. Okay.
The line starts right down there next
okay. We getting on a Union Pacific train, y'all. The North Place. I don't know where we going, but we going somewhere. I just don't know yet where we going. Okay. How you doing? Hello. Look at that. Damn. Okay, we getting on the train. We are getting on the train.
Some more coming on, we'll get started.
On Omaha Beach. Our Higgins boat hit a sandbar, and we jumped into the water and immediately went in over our heads. We struggled to make it to shore through the relentless gunfire, but all 12 of my men fought hard, and 6 hours later, we safely reached the hills.
I shipped overseas to Edinburgh, Scotland. We had to be in good shape, so we trained by walking and hiking with all of our gear. We met our first patients, British soldiers who had been wounded in the North Africa campaign. Treating these men prepared us for what bombs, bullets, and shrapnel can do to the human body.
I wrote about what was really going on in North Africa because I thought Americans didn't have an accurate view of the situation. It was not all strawberries and cream.
Council Grove, Kansas. He was on a USSS San Francisco. And he was from Atlantic City, New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey. Oh my God. Wow. And she from New Jersey too? Yeah. I didn't know we from New Jersey.
You guys from New Jersey?
Yeah.
Where from? Where?
North.
North. I lived in Maplewood for the last 25 years before I moved here.
I didn't know where you from.
Now that you've met the introduction,
Wow.
follow. It's time to start
I'd
your
have been crazy if my grandfather would have
Head
popped
to
up,
the
right?
campaign's Encourage Pavilion to continue the next chapter.
Head to the campaign
Thank you
Encourage
for
building.
visiting
Okay.
the National World War II Museum.
On American shores. $1 bill. The Imperial Japanese Army. This was the Imperial Japanese Army. 1942 to 1943. Wow. Alaska. This was the 7th Infantry Rifleman Southern Landing Force. United States. The Task Force, November, August 1943. And this was B-2 Winter Flying. That's the flying cap right there. And this was 11th Air Force service jacket. Yeah. Alaska Department. RGB was the uniform is served by private first class. Private first class. So we're in the World War II Museum. But it's different buildings. It's like 7 buildings. We still in the first building. And it's still like 7 other different buildings. But we're just gonna try to go through a couple of them and see what, you know, each one of them have. But so far we done with the first building. We're gonna go over to the other buildings.
Silent killers prowl just below the surface, hunting in wolf packs to maximize the value, housing little warning. Stalking mariners even in their home waters along the Atlantic coast and the Gulf of Mexico. The wolf packs are
So this is about the merchant marines on this side.
in 1942. Nearly 500 American merchant ships sunk or severely damaged in the Atlantic. The number of deaths soared to 1,000. The Germans called it the Happy Time. For the Allies, it is a time of desperation.
That ain't who I got.
Putting the entire war effort at risk. Finally, in early 1943, the tide of the Battle of the Atlantic dramatically turned in favor of the Allies. New technology makes attempting submarines easier. And as destroyer escorts and
Look at
escort
this
carriers begin to
blanket
hunt down
vest.
U-boats, the Allies
This was the life jackets. Wow.
In May 1943
The log.
alone, the Allies destroyed 40 German
The log of
U-boats,
enemy
forcing
attack.
the enemy to retreat from the North Atlantic. The Germans' happy time is now their Black May.
And this was a list of the crew
Over the
members.
coming years, with sea lanes open and factories operating at full throttle, the
Selling with
intensified
victory.
Get in your They transport nearly half a million troops and 16 million men
That's a heavy too, because that's a leather. That's a leather. Heavy. Foul weather trouser and jacket. Wow. That look thick.
Because that lady popped up in
EC2 Liberty shirt. How does a woman join the war like Vera Anderson? She was a welder from Mississippi. Okay, Vera. A lot of people passed away. Excuse me. People mail. Okay. Road to Tokyo, we going there? It's called the Campaign of Courage. The Road to Tokyo exhibit. Oh, it's like we're in a little ship or something. Okay. Pacific Ocean.
The war against the Japanese will be conducted across the thousands of miles of ocean, a scenario that demands a new naval strategy. The outcome will be determined from above by planes launched from aircraft carriers, and from below by Allied submarines strangling Japanese supply lines.
Wow.
But before this strategy can be implemented, the United States suffers a demoralizing string of defeats. the Japanese seized the United States territories of Guam and Wake Island. They also attacked the Philippines, where they overwhelmed American and Filipino troops stationed in Bataan and Corregidor. On April 18, 1942, the United States strikes back. As the sun rises over the Pacific, Lieutenant Colonel James Doolittle and his men embark on a daring mission. They will put the new strategy of launching aerial attacks from carriers to the test. 16 Army B-25 bombers lift off from the USS Hornet. Their plan? Fly 500 miles to bomb Japan, then pray that enough fuel remains to reach China.
That's a U.S.
Doolittle's
Navy.
raid inflicts many
U.S. Navy service dress, white
exposed a
uniform.
direct hit on Japan's sense of
That was an
invincibility.
ashtray.
Back home,
The
the
aviation
raid
winter
boosts
working
America's sagging
uniform.
morale. 3 weeks later, in
Look
May
at the telephone
1942, the strategy is tested again in the Coral Sea.
And then the
The
service
United
dress
States
blue
sends
uniform.
2 aircraft carriers to block the Japanese advance on Australia. For the first time in naval history, both sides attacked solely from the air. The Japanese sank the USS Lexington and severely damaged the Yorktown, while the Americans sank an enemy carrier and crippled 2 others.
They lockers on the ship.
Korean test lies just around the corner.
First, the new naval warfare. Now this is their bunks. You had the bunk frame, the hammock, they sea bag. And look how they should send letters and pictures, stuff back home. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. The enlisted blue uniform. The dungaree working uniform. Look at that. They have clean uniform. And then the foul weather uniform. USSS. Sorry. And he had a purple heart.
My sailing's always super good color. Yeah. My mom like found it at a boutique. So it's like, if I find any cute ones, I always say like some colors are like, it really matters a lot here in Milwaukee.
Okay, y'all, now we're in the road to Berlin. Tankers. Learning to fight the enemy. This is the road to Berlin. Message to the president. Jeep truck.
These men will become some of the most the Japanese American community. We were determined to be the best.
With American forces spread thin, the 442nd is assigned to the 92nd Infantry, which includes African American soldiers of the segregated 370th Infantry Regiment. These men also fight valiantly in service of a nation that treats them as second-class citizens.
Everybody was watching to see whether or not we'd be able to stand up under the pressure of combat. We proved to them that, hey, if you can do it, we can do it.
In the winter of 1944, American and British allies finally pierced the Gothic line. But still, the fighting drags on. Altogether, the Italian campaign will be a grueling 20-month war of attrition, costing the Allies over 300,000 casualties, and the Germans over 400,000. Despite this overwhelming sacrifice, the Allies rose to Berlin.
The losses are not only more effective, they are sustained. The Americans are losing expensive planes and highly skilled troops faster than they can replace them. The British bomb under the cover of darkness, but the Americans attack in daylight without returning their fighter vessels. At this point, fighter planes are incapable of flying long-range missions in the air.
It's the thickest blanket of flak the bomber crews have ever seen.
Wow, look at that. Sure.
Piercing cold. It's 30 degrees below zero inside the bombers. Many crewmen are bathed in fright sweat. Patchy cloud cover obscures their target, a ball-bearing plant. Through holes in the clouds, they attack. When the bombers cleared the flight field, the German fighters renewed their attack.
They made sure they had some pictures of some nice ladies. They made sure of that.
Back at Omaha Beach, the carnage is staggering. The infantry scattered across the beach. Pinned down by machine gun fire, American soldiers clustered, frozen in terror along the sea. Their comrades are wounded or dying. The fate of the invasion rests on their shoulders, and they're overwhelmed. Finally, a voice shouts what everyone is thinking. It is Colonel George Taylor of the 1st Division.
Only two kinds of people are staying on this beach. The dead and those who are gonna die. Let's get the hell out of here.
Look at the cigarettes.
Along the beach, officers rallied.
The Western Europe invasion of liberation. Liberation.
And they sent me two other guys back to
I guess that's where they kept the food hot at. That was the plates and stuff right there. Yeah, mess kit.
The day before it was liberated. And of course we got greeted by all the girls and the wines and the flowers and I mean, my God.
Little shaving kit. Shave their face and stuff. The Old Spice was around back then. Wow. Play cards. And they got cards, dice. Wow. The Budge, America counterattack.
With temperatures dipping to 30 below zero.
They was in the snow.
For several nights, outposts of the 106th Division had been reporting the noise of tracked vehicles, barking dogs, motors.
Okay, looking like it's snowing.
Headquarters, we hear lots of tanks moving around in front of us. It may be German. Please advise. Over.
They had the car all wrapped into the trees and snow.
German tanks. They're on the tanks. Over.
Wow. The fall of the third witch. I don't know what I did with that card. It look like it got cold as we going in. We're in Hamburg. Each thing like got colder.
6 million Jews, as well as millions of other enemies of the Reich, homosexuals, political prisoners, Roma, the disabled, and other ethnic and religious groups and POWs.
And that's a piece of the wall of
The
Berlin.
Nazis' bitter
A piece of the Berlin Wall.
When Generals Eisenhower and Patton tour Ohrdruf concentration camp,
A piece of a Berlin Wall.
they can't believe their eyes.
Wow.
The fearless Patton halts mid-tour, unable to witness any more.
Finding hope in the world that's destroyed. It's like for the, so many people that they lost in the war. Wow. Brought death and destruction to the Soviet village. Lost and returned. During the war, the Mexican and deceased servicemen had 3 burial options: for their loved ones, the civilian cemetery, a national cemetery, or a permanent U.S. cemetery overseas kept by the American Battle 90. Orphan Creek, like this one, was the standard means to return him or remain from theater of war to the United States. So this is what they would put a soldier in to return them home to their family. Wow. Here rests the honor, glory, a comrade in arms, known but to God. Wow.
Across the world, cities and towns around the world
Prosthetic arm and hand for veterans. And then they came for me. Not until the end of the war did most Americans come to realize the true depth of Nazi evil. The Diary of Anne Frank. The Holocaust. The worst crime. Wow. The 3 fathers secret and exalt his face out.
Zaterdag 20 juni 1942. Ik heb een paar dagen niet geschreven omdat ik eerst iets. Writing in a diary is a really strange experience for someone like me. Not only because I've never written anything before, but also because it seems to me that later on neither I nor anyone else will be interested in the years of a 13-year-old schoolgirl.
Anne Frank and her family went into hiding in the secret annex on July 6, 1942, the day after her older sister Margot was ordered to report to a Nazi work camp. They hid in the upper floor behind Otto's business,
sealed off behind a movable bookcase.
Thursday, October 1st, 1942. Yesterday, I had a horrible fright. At 8 o'clock, the door was suddenly red. All I could think of was that someone was coming to get us. You know who I mean. But I calmed down when everybody swore it must have been either pranksters or the millionaire. Thursday, November 19th, 1942. I get frightened myself when I think of close friends who are now at the mercy of the cruelest monsters to ever stalk the earth. And all because they are Jews. Friday, October 29th, 1943. My nerves often get the better of me, especially on some days. Outside, you don't hear a single bird, and a deadly, oppressive silence hangs over the house. It clings to me as if it were on.
These was bunk beds. These people was up there, here, and there. Look how they had them laying. How? Wow. Wow. Little bunk beds, and they lay sideways. Wow. Treasure hunt. They said in 1945, they discovered in caves, in mines, and castles, stolen artifacts from the museum, libraries, gold jewelry from the Holocaust victims.
With unerring instinct for enriching themselves, had stored our treasure. Built for their like owners throughout Europe.
Wow.
Alongside far admitted gold were found paintings, statues, tapestries, jewelry, and all else that in that century mankind would pay much to rescue and to preserve. Some of this has been restored. Some, not easy to identify, is still under the care of the captors.
By the time the last officer returned home, the monument's men and women had overseen the return of millions of works of art and cultural objects to their rightful owners.
Wow. Monte Cassino. Madonna with child. Homeward bound. The Congressional Gold Medal awarded to the monument men. Wow. Finding hope in a world destroyed. This is the Wall of Stars.
Even though the hour has declined, much work remains to be done. There is great uncertainty about what lies ahead.
The Wall of Stars.
Mends its broken bodies and spirits, and begins to learn how to devote itself to peace instead of war. The U.S. also must now play.
Restoring America. Home. People trying to get back to their regular life. The GI Bill of Rights.
Effort that led to the groundbreaking passage of the Civil Rights Act and Voting Rights Act of the 1960s. Williams was not alone. During World War II, Rosa Parks served at Maxwell Field in Montgomery, Alabama, in a defense defense job that prohibits discrimination. On the airbase, she can sit anywhere in the bus, but has to give up her seat and go to the back when the bus leaves the base. This later inspires her to take action that is a turning point in American history.
Maxwell opened my eyes up. It was an alternative to the ugly policies of Jim Crow.
The strongest right bill since Reconstruction. The GI Bill of Rights.
The surging post-war economy and new technologies bring expanded opportunities and prosperity to many Americans. The fight for civil rights and social equality
Transforming technologies. And penicillin.
And the United States uses its new superpower status to protect and promote democracy. Defending freedom abroad and preventing the spread of communism is seen as the best way to safeguard U.S. freedom. Since the founding of the nation, every American president has met the challenges of their time in their own way.
This is building 5 we in now. That's the U.S. Army ship there. My gal Sal. Bunny. U.S. Army, USA. This is a Dodge WC-56 command car. Dorothy. CCKW hardtop. Clutch.
The National World War II Museum honors those Americans who served through the silent service.
And they will sit on the back, go on to their different destinations. Normandy, Liberty Bell, Pass and Snow. B-17 bomb wreck. And this is the Pratt & Whitney swap engine. And it's raining outside. raining. And this was a 1943 Jeep. So they made all these was clutches. And the B-24 Liberator cockpit.
So maybe then you focus on the museum part of it, like you say that part of it.
I'll go up these steps and see how I look in the inside, y'all. About to fall trying to go up the steps. Oh, it was small. It was small.
Now, how many people get in there?
Well, it was a couple of people. They go seat there, seat there, seat there. Yeah, a couple of seats. I shouldn't have came up here because now I gotta get down. Okay, y'all. They have a lot of buildings. They have 7 buildings. I think we're in the 5th building so far. We're gonna try to do the last 2 buildings because it is raining outside. And we're gonna see can we get it done. Okay? We have a tanker over here. And this look like it's like the truck on land. I mean like a car on land, but you can go in the water too. Yeah. This is the yacht manufacturer, Sparksman. Designed to keep equipment and troops ashore on the dock or harbor. So this for land or water.
Oh, okay.
Boat / car. Harley Davidson, 1942.
That thing over there too.
1942 Harley
Both of them is
Davidson.
land on water.
This is a tank right here. This is a tank. The tank ain't going to water, it's gonna sink. If that going water, it's gonna sink. This is a tank. It's the M4AE3 Sherman tank. The rights to fight. The civil rights movement. Brown versus Brown. The murder of Emmett Till. The movement gains momentum. Segregation to secure these rights. The GI Bill. The Voice of Valor. Theodore Burton Jr. Opportunities. Journal of Negro Life. Angels in Uniform. The 6888. The the 6th Triple-A Central Postal Directory Battalion. Courage Under Fire. The Tuskegee Airmen. Defending Germany. Serving at sea. It isn't impossible to create a dual personality, which will be on the one hand a fighting man towards the foreign enemy, and on the other a craven who will accept treatment as less than a man at home. That is so true. Well, this was women in service. They was working on these cars and stuff. White officer and color officers. Oh, that's a medical bag. Segregated service. Colors go to the back of the bus. Colors waiting room.
White supremacists resisted these confident black men in uniform arriving back into their communities.
We came a long way.